Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Wander to the Edge. My name is Adam Asher. And of course, we've got Zan joining us from Where Gals Wander.
Hi.
Hey, Zan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hope you had a good week.
I did.
You
I
know,
did.
we're
Yeah,
everybody's still in quarantine these days. I mean,
I know.
much of the country is somewhat opening up, and much of the country hasn't. So, facing quarantine.
Yeah, and I am just looking forward to everything going back to normal. I went and got a haircut a couple weeks ago,
Oh,
so
congratulations. What
thank
is
you.
that?
A
What is
haircut?
a haircut? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, like, at what point, Adam, do you determine that like the hair and the beard is like long enough?
Uh, I mean, I could be at that point right now. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Actually, so since you brought it up, I do have an appointment to get my haircut in
Okay.
about the next week and a half or so. But what we should do is people should vote and say, like, do I not get a cut? Do I get the length taken off?
Oh,
Do I
there you
take it back
go.
to, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do
Yeah.
with the hair? The beard, I'm not going to hardly touch. You can vote all you want. I'm not going
That's
to.
non-negotiable. Yeah. And your hair is, like, super curly. That's one thing that always surprises me, like, when I see it, like, when I met you in person, like, how curly your hair is.
Yeah, and the long hair problem. So the longer it gets, the
Yeah.
less that is. And I've never had my hair grown out this far. This is the first time I've ever grown out this far. So, um, eh, learning all the new challenges. But yep, gonna get a cut. It's as we come out of the quarantine days, it may be time to knock it back a little bit. But
Yeah.
you're looking lovely today, as always. So,
Thank you.
and you did you go to work for like the Brazil Airlines?
Um,
Is
okay
that
then. I
is that what
see I see where you're going with
no, no,
this.
I mean,
This is my little Kate Spade scarf. It's
no,
very
it looks
cute.
great, it looks great.
Yeah.
You
This is actually my signature look. Like, cardigans and scarves, like, that's pretty much my corporate look all the time. So,
well, it looks great,
thank you.
and, you look formal, yet chill, and ready for a great interview today as we have another edition of Wander to the Edge, and if you're joining us for the first time, you gotta remember we call it Wander to the Edge because Ann and I have been friends for a while now, and of course, she has the platform called Where Gals Wander. You see that information down at the bottom of your screen, wheregalswander.com. Fantastic travel blog and platform on all social media, so be sure to check that out. And as Adam Asher, I get to be your host and guide for The Edge of Adventure. And if you haven't checked it out, I know a lot of you have, but if you haven't, I would love for you to check out the video series. And you can find that either at the website I have listed below, adamasher.com, or you can go to theedgeofadventure.com, theedgeofadventure.com, and check it out. And love to have you.
I've been meaning to tell you, Adam, that whole Edge of Adventure thing, it's not
Mhm.
bad.
It's not bad.
It's
Thank you.
not bad.
When are you
No.
going to watch it? Okay,
You know that I was there counting down
you
with you
were.
for the
You
premiere
were.
episode. No,
You
it's
were.
actually fantastic.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were. You've been a great friend from about 3 years plus, and
Yeah.
you have been cheering me on. So thank you so much. And today we want to meet a great friend of yours who's joining us
Yes.
from Arizona, Sheila Doherty from
Hey,
Hi.
Hiking Unlimited. There's
limited.
Sheila. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, we're so excited to have you.
It
I'm
is
a little nervous, people.
don't be don't be nervous. You know what? This is just fun, and
Yeah.
so thankful for friends and technology, and just the opportunity we have to connect in this modern world, and even when things are strange and times of quarantine and things like that. But we're also, let's talk about things we're thankful for. Also thankful for the very simple pleasures, right, of being able to get outside, enjoy nature, and and take your dog for a walk.
I know. I'm being really.
Now hold on, I can't tell on this side. Is that Zan? Is that Zan's
No.
dog?
No, mine.
That's awesome. Okay, what's your dog's name?
I have two. I have a golden, it's supposed to be a Labradoodle, but it's mostly lab. and Frosty is her name. And then I have a
Yeah.
little Yorkie that is, his name is Magic. So I have two
Aw.
dogs. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's
And
good.
I've seen your dogs on your hikes with you, which is so cool. I
Yeah.
mean, they must just love that, getting out there with you, because you hike every day.
I hike a lot, and I don't take them every day. It's too hot right now in Arizona.
Yeah.
And I don't take them because they just don't want to go every day, but they do really enjoy it. Even the little one can do some crazy hikes. I can't believe it.
So tell us about Hiking Unlimited. It is an awesome, wonderful Instagram platform. And those who haven't checked it out need to get over there. Again, it's over at on Instagram at Hiking Unlimited. But tell us about it. Why'd you start this? And want to know more about your passion for hiking.
Well, when I started it because several years ago, I'm the youngest in my family, and I have 4 older siblings, and they were going to hike the Grand Canyon rim to rim. And I hiked randomly, but not a lot. So I said I was going to go, and then I went and hiked Squaw Peak, which is now called Piestewa Peak here in Phoenix. And I struggled on the hike, and I'm like, I don't want to hike for 12 hours doing the rim to rim. So I canceled with my family members. And then some live in Iowa, some live here in Arizona. So when my Iowa brothers came with their wives, we hiked Pinnacle Peak, which is a relatively easy hike. And my sister-in-law was extremely slow and used poles. And I thought to myself, they're all older than me. I'm 5 years younger than the next sibling. So I'm like, if they all hike it and I don't, then I'll never, I'll regret it. So I did it. And then I was always nervous to hike with people because I thought I was too slow, or I might not be able to make the hike, or I had a plethora of reasons. And I thought other people feel that way too. And they don't want to hike because they think, she's going to get to the top and I'll still be like halfway up. And so I started it because I think every single person, if they want to, can hike. Whether you go snail's pace or whether you're an ultra runner, everybody can hike. And so it was a safe place for beginners all the way to really good hikers.
I really want to get back to the rim to rim hike, but first, I just have to say, watching your account and the way that you support and encourage people to get out there and hike with you. And you always make a point of saying, it doesn't matter how fast you go, I'll slow to your pace. I mean, tell me a little bit about, how do you go from being afraid of starting to hike yourself to now, I mean, you've really become a leader in the hiking community in Arizona. How do you make that transition?
I had to step out of my comfort zone. I had to branch out, and just like other people, I'm encouraging other people to step out of their comfort zone. I had to do that first. And once I did, there is always going to be someone who's a faster, more in shape, better hiker than I am. So if other people feel that way, I'm never going to be the premier hiker in the world. And so once you get that out there and people actually try to hike, there is so many benefits. It's so worthwhile to do it. That's why I feel it's important for everyone to try. And you can hike around your block until you feel better. I'll go as slow as you need to go. I'll take as many breaks as you need to take. And when you get to the top, you'll be like, hey, that wasn't so bad. So it's good.
Talking today with Sheila Doherty of Hiking Unlimited. Check her out on Instagram at Hiking Unlimited. And she is our guest today for Wander to the Edge. And Sheila, let's talk about recommendations, perhaps. What do you recommend for beginners? Okay. What are some of the things that beginners, the challenges maybe that they run into? the points of discouragement where they begin to think, this isn't for me. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. What would be the recommendations to maybe get them past that hurdle?
The first thing is it only takes one step at a time, literally one step at a time. And the first time you go, maybe you can only do 200 steps. Everybody wears a Fitbit these days. I personally do not. But you don't have to hike a mountain. You can hike a mile in your neighborhood. You can hike them. There are plenty of trails that are easy, that are flat, and start there. I've hiked with people that are just starting out, and we'll literally take 10 steps and take a break. And then we'll take 10 more steps and take a break. And really, my recommendation is wait till it cools off in Arizona and then just start. And if you want to start going around your block, go into your park, and when you're ready to hit any trail, and you can find trails are really marked well in a lot of different sites, and you can pick an easy trail. And you don't have to do the whole trail. You can do as much as you feel comfortable with and then turn around. So the biggest thing is don't set your goal too high that you're going to not be able to reach it. Start off small. Every day is a new goal. Every day's, some days when I hike, I've hiked the same trail 50 times. And some days I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying today. Yeah. So you have to listen to your body and don't overdo it, because some days are better than others, and just keep at it.
When you're going out and you're doing these hikes with these different groups, how did you meet these people? It seems like you're always hiking with somebody different. You're referencing, everybody seems to know who you are. I see that we have a lot of mutual friends that I didn't even realize were connected. How did you develop these relationships?
I do have a regular group that I hike with, but I do encourage a lot of anyone that wants to hike to join us. And really they can ask me, a lot of people will give me a direct message on Instagram. I'm also an ambassador for the 52 Hike Challenge. So people reach out that way. And I've had a person just this week say to me, I haven't hiked since I was in college. And I'm in better shape now than I was then, but I'm scared to hike. And I'm like, let's go. I'll do whatever you want, however you want. And, once someone starts, the benefits, just actually hiking for me is like therapy. You just start talking, and believe me, if you can't talk because you can't breathe, I'll talk. And, time passes really quickly. And the next thing you know, they're telling me what's going on in their life. And it's a form of therapy. You just talk, and you're out in nature, and it's free.
So the 52 Hike Challenge, is that what it's called?
Yes.
All right. Explain that a little bit.
So the founders of the 52 Hike Challenge are fantastic. They were going through some rough patches in their lives, and they decided to start the 52 Hike Challenge, which is one hike a week for a year. And it can be anything over a mile. And you can do it. They started it to do it once a week for the 52 weeks. I did not do it like that, because in the summer months here in Arizona, it's way too hot. So some people can't finish it in a year. Some people can finish it in 3 months, 6, because I'll do 1 or 2 a day. So it is a huge, huge community. And they have hikers that are brand new beginners. They have 75-year-old, oh my gosh, they have 75-year-old people hiking for the first time, and they have moms carrying kids on their back. I mean, it's a wide range. And anyone who wants to start to hike, whether you're 18 to 80, there are people your age that will hike.
Now, is the 52 Hike Challenge, is that something formal? Do you have to sign up? How do you get involved with that?
So 52 Hike Challenge, you can Google it. You can go to 52hikechallenge.com. They do request that you sign up. It's it's a goal you set for yourself. Like, you can fill out all the paperwork and submit it. It's really a platform to send pictures of your hikes, talk about different hikes. Where do I go? If I'm going to Utah, where should I hike? It's a really welcoming welcoming community, and it's a personal goal. I'm going to hike once a week for 52 weeks. So it's there. You can pay a fee to get a little extra things, but you don't have to.
Sheila, I noticed as we observe your platform, Instagram, Hiking Unlimited on Instagram, I would say that you would be one of those people who can testify to the fact that with hiking, with the activity of hiking, there can be often an element of healing.
Absolutely.
Have you found that to be the case? And how have you seen that healing take place and play out?
Okay, I'll give you a lot. I could give you a lot of examples. Right now with coronavirus, here in Arizona, we could hike. That was always an acceptable activity. So, oh my gosh, being locked in the house for 3 months, I would go crazy. So I could hike every day, and that alone kept me sane. That's just a recent thing, but I have a mom that I did the 10 steps and take a break with, and her son was in a serious accident, and she just the stress and the emotion and everything of his accident, the whole recovery, which was long, long, long and still ongoing, getting outside for an hour. And like I said, we can go on an easy trail and talk. And she could just tell me whatever she wanted about him, all the stuff she's going through. And even if she didn't want to talk about it, being outside and getting your mind off what problems you have and being out in nature makes you feel so good. And like, she didn't think she could make it to the summit of a particular hike. And when she did, the smile on her face is worth everything. And, I take a lot of pictures. I post a lot, but I also have some I don't. And the smiles that people have and the sense of accomplishment is really, really inspiring to me.
In addition to being the Arizona ambassador for this 52 hike challenge, you talked about the healing aspect. And I know that you also do a lot of work with Mother's Grace, a charitable organization. Can you maybe tell us in your own words, like, what is the organization all about? What is your role there?
So Mother's Grace is an organization based here in Arizona. It was started by a friend of mine who, when she worked full-time, high-powered job, married, 3 kids. When she was, her middle child was in 2nd grade, he was diagnosed with diabetes, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer. So she went through both experiences at the same time. And when she did that, she was married, had a husband, had other kids, but she still needed help. Like, who do I talk to? What doctors do I go to? I can't cook. Who's going to make food for my family? So when she recovered, she started this charity, and we do everything from make meals for people who are sick or need help. We help pay their mortgage for a month or their bills, depending on their circumstances. We've done landscaping. Basically, we've provided vans with, some people have a disability and it's brand new, and then, oh my gosh, we have no money to buy a van to get around in. So we'll help arrange that and, get them the help or the resources they need. And the best thing about it is Michelle, who's the founder, has gone through a cancer, and a lot of our people have cancer or their husband or something. And her wealth of knowledge is priceless. And again, it's free to the person we're helping. They've helped several people I know, one had breast cancer for the second time, and people do not want to ask for help. So I don't have to ask for the help. If I know somebody, I can submit an application to Mother's Grace, and they'll reach out. And believe it or not, the people that they help are so appreciative, and they would have never asked in the first place. Some do, some feel fine asking. We go down to Phoenix Children's Hospital and relieve the moms of the kids who are sick. We give them gas cards because a lot of them might live far, because you're bringing your kid to the better hospital at Phoenix Children's. They might live in Gilbert, which is 50 miles away. And so we'll give them food cards and gas cards so they can get to and from. We'll sit with their child. And I mean, we really do whatever it takes to help someone out, whatever they need.
Definitely a sense of community, right? I mean, I hear you talk about this and the other things that you do and things that you're involved in. And it just strikes me that in the hiking community, there is that sense of looking out for each other.
Absolutely.
And it's a pretty special thing. And you can find out more information about Mother's Grace. How so? What would be
so their website is mothersgrace.org. And again, you can Google Mother's Grace. It's based in Arizona. We do help people that are not in Arizona. But you can, it's a .org though. It's not .com.
mothersgrace.org to find out
Correct.
more information about that. What a wonderful organization. And I think it's just one of, as we get to know you, it's one of the many things that you're involved in. And it's really inspiring. Have you found that there's also been a sense of community on Instagram through your Instagram account, Hiking Unlimited? Have you picked up on
Absolutely.
that? Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like I'm talking about a lot of sad stories. There's a lot of really happy stories, but another one on Instagram, there's a woman who's got a brain tumor, and she named him Howard. And I've met her on Instagram. I've never met her in person. And I feel so connected to her that, it just breaks your heart, because she's going through this brain tumor surgery and she's still trying to hike. And so there's that. And then there's also people that I have met in person that had a baby and they want to start hiking because they want to lose some weight, or they just want to get out of the house for a couple hours, or they just moved to Arizona and they don't know anybody. And it's a great way to meet people and connect and make a group of friends. It's really a good way to do that. If you're new to the area, and it doesn't have to be in Arizona, if you're in California, wherever you are, there's plenty of resources to reach out, and their hikers are really friendly and welcoming. And it's a great, wherever you live, you can Google hiking groups and hook up with some new people if you want to meet some friends.
I think now more than ever, just having that connection and that sense of community is so important. And from the minute that I started following on Instagram, and you post everything from climbing, hiking through Glacier National Park and the highest peak in Arizona, and all the snakes and wildlife and everything else that you encounter, which I still don't know how you get that close to the snakes, but you really just emulate this sense of making an impact, connecting with people, making it personal. And I just want to acknowledge and recognize that. And just, again, thank you for everything that you do when you reach out. I've gotten a lot of enthusiasm when I mentioned that you were going to be on and about the Grand Canyon Rim to Rim hike. And I had 2 people say they really want to hear about this adventure. So can you take us through what that experience was like?
So like I said, was not overly excited about doing this hike. I had not been I hiked, but not regularly like I do now. And we went up to the Grand Canyon and we spent the night, and then we got up really early the next morning. We were on the trail by 5:30 in the morning, and we hiked down the South Rim, South Kaibab, and then we crossed over the river, stopped at Phantom Ranch, had our lunch, and then hiked out the North Rim. which is the harder way to do it because the North Rim is steeper. But I'll tell you what, that was a phenomenal experience, and I highly recommend it. If you can camp at the bottom, there's these kind of rusticy cabins you can try to reserve if you want to spend the night before you hike out. But the Grand Canyon, the first time I was there, I was in high school, and I'm like, it's like a hole in the ground. But really, when you're there as an adult, it's so much more than a hole in the ground. It's so beautiful. The wildlife in the canyon, the Colorado River on the bottom. It's a great thing to do. It's a really, and you can do it as a group. I did it with a group. Yeah. And again, though, I don't recommend going in the heat of the summer because it's hot there too.
Sheila, what are a couple of other must hikes if you're a hiker? What would be the things we should set our sights on that we just great hikes in the US of A?
Oh, Glacier National Park by far is my favorite national park so far. I've been to quite a few, not all, but Glacier, the wildlife was incredible. Bears. I had bighorn sheep literally cross the trail. They would have killed us if I was right there. I mean, they were running down the mountain. I have a video of it. Glacier is absolutely beautiful. And then we went up to Waterton, which is in Canada. It's the only, it's called the International Peace Park. And you can cross over from the US to Canada in that park. And in Waterton, which is in Canada, there's a hike called Crip Lake. And that, if you Google it, it is one of National Geographic's top 19 most thrilling hike. And you have to take a boat to get to the hike.
Wow. Do
the hike and get back in time to make the boat back. And I was so panicked about it. Like, oh my gosh, this is a timed hike. Like, I really have to do it. I recommend that hike to everybody. You're on the edge. So if you're not a heights person, that's not the hike for you. But if you're an adventure person, definitely the hike for you. But all over the United States, in every single state, every country, there are hikes. And they range from an easy mile walk to the Grand Canyon hike. You can do Mount Everest. Like, that's crazy, but people do it. So there's a variety in every state and in every country, and it's free. Mount Everest isn't free because you got to pay for the guide dog, but you know what I'm saying. Hiking is something you can do with kids. If you're on a budget and you want to travel, you can hike and camp, and it's something everybody can really do.
Sheila Doherty has been our guest today for Wander to the Edge. She's a good friend, and as you can tell from getting to know her today, she has a great heart, and she cares a lot about other people, and I think that ties in very well to her love for hiking. And we've learned today about the community, the hiking community, and the way that there's even a sense of healing in the process and the activity of hiking. If you want to find out more about Sheila Doherty, please be sure to look her up on Instagram. You'll find her at Hiking Unlimited on Instagram. Tons of followers, tons of great photos, very inspirational. And we're honored to have had her as our guest today on Wander to the Edge.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sheila.
Oh, thank you both.
Sheila, God bless you. Thank you so much for all you do, and thanks for being our guest today here as well.
You're welcome.
On Wander to the Edge.